then please direct a few of your questions to the players first, and then we'll go back to the coach. Anytime you're ready.
Sure. Let me just start off by saying how proud I am of this particular group. We've had a tough campaign, conference play. We've lost some heartbreaking games, and this group of guys showed a tremendous amount of character and resiliency, and I'm so proud of them for that. I told them that before the game even started, because I just felt like at that moment they needed to know, despite the negativity that surrounds losing, that doesn't characterize who these guys are as people. As a matter of fact, character was revealed over the last month or two dealing with these young men. They came to work every single day, great attitudes, great energy, and they gave themselves a chance to win every single game. I thought the game plan was solid today. I thought they followed the game plan. Unfortunately, our Achilles heel this year has been the amount of turnovers that we've had. I think we had 18 today. You turn them all over against a team like that, it's going to cost you. And a number of other things. We didn't shoot the ball well from the perimeter again today. But with all that being said, this group of guys I couldn't be prouder of, and it's tough. It's really tough right now. I got guys back in that locker room breaking down. I got 2 seniors who won't be able to play another collegiate game, and it's just a tough time right now. But with that being said, I couldn't be more proud of them. So if there's a narrative out there in regards to this team, let it start with me. I'll take, whatever that narrative is. But please, in regards to these young men, just know that these kids are warriors. These kids played their tail offs for me. They trusted me, and I couldn't be any more proud of them. And I enjoyed this group. I said that a lot to our AD Thor throughout the year, and I truly meant that. I just enjoyed coaching and working with this group. We'll be back. Rhode Island basketball will definitely be back. It's just tough right now. So I guess I'll leave it at that.
Questions for the players? Raise your hand, please. We'll get the mic to you.
Mark Radigan, Anchor Sportsnet. Malik, you and the rest of the guys played their hearts out today. You had 20 points, 9 rebounds, a statement performance from you, but a heartbreaking way to end the year and the tournament. Do you have any comments on your own personal play and the play of the team, especially going down the stretch in the second half?
I thought we did everything we did to win. Richmond, they're a very experienced team, and they showed that. It was just a battle in the second half. Too many turnovers, didn't make enough shots, missed some free throws, obviously. But, I thought we were still in a position to win the game. But it's just tough, man. We fought.
Questions for the players? One in the front here.
For either one of you, I guess first Malik, you had a good game against Richmond when you played early in the season and didn't have as many opportunities offensively. What was working for you tonight and just getting a little bit more touches?
I started the game up with a 3, and I was feeling good. My teammates was able to find me in spots that I was in. All year my role's kind of been just do whatever it takes to win. Today it just happened to be that I needed to score, but my teammates was able to just find me in the right spots for me to be successful tonight.
Question here in the front for the players. Microphone, please.
Aaron Robertson, All Facts Media. For either one of you guys, down the stretch, you guys didn't make a field goal for the last 6 minutes of the game, and I believe you guys kind of the few turnover there as well. What do you think just happened in the last few minutes there that you guys just kind of didn't execute the way you wanted to on the offensive side of the ball?
I thought we could have, in a stretch like that, I thought we could have valued the ball a little more and just been on the same page. Whether it's like knowing the sets after timeout, knowing executing the play the coach ran, and yeah, I think that's it. I think we did everything else. Stuck to the plan, rebounded. We got the shots we wanted. Just didn't fall. It just didn't fall.
Is there a final question for the players? If not, gentlemen, we'll let you go ahead and go back to the locker room. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
And now we'll take additional questions for Coach Cox, please. Go ahead, sir.
Coach, you had them in the first half, 14-point lead going into halftime. And then once the second half started, Richmond started to claw back and then eventually tied the game at 55. Couple loose turnovers and then a couple stretches of just no field goals forced you into a couple timeouts. What were you telling the guys to try and keep them focused on the task at hand, to keep it from just bubbling over out of control?
Well, during that stretch, a number of things were happening that weren't necessarily positive. As Mekhi mentioned, our execution out of timeouts wasn't necessarily high level. Our executions at the end of shot clock wasn't high level either. We had a few instances where guys weren't even aware that the shot clock was ticking down. And then we had some pretty loose and kind of careless turnovers. So, all three of those things against a team like Richmond, it can't happen. It just can't happen. Even if we would have continued to maybe not make shots, but not necessarily turn the ball over, I think we would have probably had even a better chance. But the combination of turning the ball over, lack of execution, missing shots, and then missing free throws all at once was a little bit too much for us to handle.
Go ahead, sir.
David with the Providence Journal. Coach, I know you talked about wanting the narrative to fall on you, and I know there's been kind of a lot of speculation about your future. Do you feel like the program has done enough? It's in a good place for you to come back for one more year?
Oh, yeah, I don't want to speculate about that. Yeah, I'm still under contract. That wasn't what I was talking about in regards to the narrative at all. Yeah, I'm here to be here. I'm proud of these guys. I think that we've got to regroup and we've got to refocus our efforts so that we're back in the upper echelon, next year. But in regards to that, yeah, I don't pay any attention to that outside noise at all.
Questions for the coach? Right here in the front again, please.
Coach, have you had any conversations with Thor maybe about an extension or any further contract going forward?
No, that's end of the year stuff. And to be perfectly honest with you, my focus has been on each and every game at this point, getting these guys better. I'm still under contract as of right now. So I'm not even that hasn't been anything that we've needed to discuss as of this point. But we will always have discussions postseason. Thor is not only a great leader, but a mentor, and we will have some very truthful conversations. Obviously, postseason. But I'll leave that to our business.
Other questions? Go ahead.
The second half, you guys they fouled 15 times. They were 20 for 24 from the foul line in the second half. There, what do you think was the issue as far as the fouls there in the second half?
I'll leave the fouls alone. The refs made the calls that they saw. They're professionals, and we've got to deal with that.
We have a question right here. Thank you.
Tyler Hested, URI Athletics. Coach, I wanted to ask you about Jalen Carey. Just observing him throughout the season, throughout this game, he's always has his arm around his teammates and always is kind of like the leader in the middle of the huddle, saying encouraging words, and the guys really seem to heed his word and pay attention to him. What kind of example has he set kind of on a daily basis, and whether it be in practices, what has he done throughout the year to kind of earn the guys' attention?
Well, he's not alone. There's been a number of guys who have grown, both on the court and off the court. But in regards to Jalen, he's grown since he's been here, and he hasn't always necessarily been that guy. But he's matured. He's got a lot of character. He's got a huge, huge heart. He loves his teammates. You know, he really loves his teammates. And I think that's what you've been seeing over the last few months. And because of that mindset, he's been able to kind of go out there and play a little freer and then with a lot more confidence.
I think we'll make that our final question. Coach, thank you very much for your time.
Sure, thank you.
Appreciate it. Coach Mooney, if you'll give us an opening statement, and then we're going to take a couple of questions for the players.
Sure. Well, David might have mentioned this, but you know, it was a carbon copy of the game at Rhode Island during the regular season. I think we were down 15 in the second half of that game, and we pressed and tried to do it as much as we can, press, sub, and try to really attack on offense. It's kind of two things we were trying to do. In that game, we didn't force as many turnovers as we did tonight. We needed them. We also didn't make as many threes in the second half. But just a great win and a high character win to be in this situation and to feel as down as we did at halftime, to be able to come back and win the game, against a good team, really says a lot about our guys, and I'm very proud of them. Looking forward to tomorrow.
Questions for Jake or Grant, please? Go ahead, John. Mike's right.
Jacob, could you just address the first half and it's like a deer in the headlights moment for you guys for a while there, and why was that? How'd you pull out?
Yeah, it was like similar to when we were at Rhode Island. I don't know what the deal was. I figured it would be tough for us to make shots, given that it was in an NBA arena, different from what we're used to playing. Haven't played in a couple days. But I figured we'd be better on defense. Just kind of gave up layup after layup. They were getting easy looks. We weren't getting back in transition, weren't communicating. Kind of just a sloppy first half for us, for sure. Some things were said in the locker room. At the end of the day, this is kind of why us seniors came back, to go with one last run at it. And, we didn't want to go out like that. So kind of turned it around in the second half.
Questions? We need a mic over. John, thank you.
Tyler Cronin, 3-bid league. Jacob, I got a question for you. One play that really stands out for me in this game, you guys had cut the lead to 3. You got your man trapped in the corner, just took the ball right off of him, and it ended up leading to the game tying 3. So in that moment, did you have any kind of mentality switch where you may be looking for the steal, knowing that you could really swing the game, or was there just something you saw in how he was holding the ball?
No, it was kind of just something I saw. We knew it at halftime we were going to have to press in the second half, kind of speed them up, get more possessions. That particular one, I just kind of felt like I had an advantage on him right there. Got a steal. The 3 came from a good play by Tyler. He recognized I was wide open, and shot went in. Shots didn't go in too often for us, but I think the defense led the offense for us right there for sure.
Other questions for the players in the front here?
Obviously, first of all, Aaron Robinson, All Facts Media. Obviously, the rivalry tomorrow, obviously with VCU, something in and of itself. But with it being a tournament game, what do you expect from that game? Obviously, they beat you guys twice this season. So, what are you guys looking to kind of change as far as the matchup tomorrow?
That's for you guys. One of you guys.
Yeah, like you said, they got us twice this year. I think the first game, we played really well. They hit a tough two or three couple tough shots there at the end at our place, and then at their place we played pretty bad in the second half. But I think in 3 out of the 4 halves that we played in this year, we got a lot that we wanted on offense. I think we were pretty good defensively for those 3 halves as well, except that second half at their place. So we'll be going over the scout tomorrow, making some minor adjustments, but I think the biggest thing for us is just coming out ready to play from the beginning, lots of energy and lots of intensity.
Any other questions for the players?
Jacob, before you go, the value of having been on this court now and played, obviously that looked like a problem early. Rhode Island looked like a team that was loose and accustomed to the atmosphere.
Yeah, you know, you would think.
I mean, how valuable is now having 40 minutes behind you?
Yeah, no, it's definitely valuable. You would think that the team that, you know, got the bye would be more fresh and come off to a better start. But, you know, it didn't work out that way for us, and hopefully, you know, we can do that same thing to VCU tomorrow. You know, I don't think they've played in a week. Certainly got to make that to our advantage tomorrow.
Gentlemen, we'll let you go back to the locker room now. Thank you very much. Some final questions for Coach Mooney? Anybody?
Chris, what were you hoping the pressure did, and did it sort of surpass your expectations in that short period where they really turned it over quite a bit?
Yeah, because up there, again, it was such a carbon copy of that game. Our pressure helped, but it didn't necessarily produce a ton of turnovers or turnovers that led to baskets. And so I thought today it did produce some turnovers, especially from, seemed like after the first media timeout, you know, from the 16-minute mark to the, you know, 6-minute mark or so, we had forced a lot of turnovers. They had a lot of late possessions because they had to reset after the press. So you know, we've been a team that can press pretty well with some length and speed, and obviously Jacob. And you know, tonight, you know, obviously we didn't want to be in that position, but we were glad to be able to press and to do it effectively. Again, I think the second part of it was just being so aggressive offensively, flying the ball, because when they're set as a stationary defense, their numbers are terrific. They're very, very good. And I think, you know, being able to fly it back and make those guys run and be on the move and maybe mismatched with who they're guarding, I thought that gave us somewhat of an advantage.
Go ahead, sir.
Coach, you guys have relied heavily on the three-point shot throughout this year, and obviously tonight things weren't the best from outside. And the second half, you started pounding the paint. You got to the line 24 times. Was that like a tactical change as a result of something that you saw in their defense, or really just trying to get back to the basics and get the guys comfortable during the comeback?
Yeah, great question. Well, we've shot so poorly that I think that's probably the main part, is that we wanted to be aggressive. And, you know, as a season goes on and you're in your conference and teams are familiar with you, a lot of times, you know, they can guard or they adjust to guard you in the paint and cuts and post moves, and you wind up with three-point shots that are open. You know, we haven't made enough recently. And in the first half, I think we made 1 3-point shot. But, you know, the idea of staying aggressive and being aggressive, when you can get the foul count up, you know, Tyler gets fouled a lot. Nate, Grant, you know, we have guys who are very comfortable playing in the paint or getting into the paint. So I do think that it wasn't the only thing we wanted to do, but I think it was just part of the message at halftime about being aggressive.
Any final questions?
Coach Mooney, a couple of your players after that VCU game at the Siegel Center, thank you, suggested it was, you know, an embarrassing situation, getting drilled like that in the second half. And I wonder how much that might play into the desire to meet them again and play a little bit harder.
Yeah, no, a lot. I think that means a lot. You know, the first half of that game was fairly similar to the first game in that it was back and forth, and you know, we did some things well and they did some things well, but the second half, you know, we were just very much outplayed and you know, beaten to loose balls and beaten to the backboard, all of those things. So I think it means a lot to us, and you know, we're anxious to get as much rest as we possibly can this evening and come out tomorrow and play much better.
Coach, thank you very much.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate you
That'll
staying.
conclude this press conference. Thank you, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow.